Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Joy Jacket, and I am so excited for this video because it's something that I really have no notes. I mean, a lie, as I'm sitting here with my notes, but I don't have a script in terms of how I'm formulating these thoughts. So this is very much freestyle. I have not practiced this or anything, but today I wanted to talk about my current thoughts and feelings on desire, feelings of desire, sexuality, and creativity, and the way it kind of is showing up right now in my own life, and some personal observations that I've made. So I'm gonna be looking at this every once in a while, but don't mind me. Okay, let's get into it. So the link between sexuality and desire is pretty obvious. I mean, when most people use the term desire, it is, well, actually doesn't have to be in a sexual context, but we know what it means. Like if you are someone who's sexually attracted to someone, to other people, you're desiring them. You're desiring to be close to them. You're desiring to touch them, to be intimate with them, whatever. So that link is very familiar, but I have been more creative lately. One way being the revival of this YouTube channel. And also, let's just look up or talk about what creativity even means. I used the Cambridge definition, which said that creativity is the ability to produce or use original and unusual ideas. So as someone who's been exercising that creative muscle more, I have been exposed to my own feelings of desire. In this case, to produce more, to make more. The more you create, the more you want to create, the more you have visions to create. I can't speak for everybody, but that's at least my experience. And when I talk to other people who indulge in their creative ideas frequently, whether that is artistically, whether that is, I don't know, designing tables or whatever it is, really, crocheting, there's something that gets triggered, something that you confront within yourself that makes you want to make more of that. And that's what I want to touch on today. For me personally, the feeling, and I'm very feelings based, if you haven't noticed, maybe you haven't, but I am very cerebral, but I am super, how do I feel about this? How do you feel about this? I use feel a lot. I'm a Cancer stellium at that. I think this is the second time I've mentioned this in a video, but producing, which sounds very mechanical, but creating, producing, making, creates like a real visceral feeling in my chest, in my diaphragm, and it's kind of like this warm, almost like smoldering fire that I just want to keep going. And I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say that that's that feeling of passion, right? Feeling very aligned with yourself in that very moment, being extremely present and giving yourself to something that comes from within and pulling it out of yourself and putting it in front of you. I feel like that's what I have been so lucky to be exposed to again now that I have time to be more creative. And it's that feeling that makes the world go around, really, to give life to things that don't exist yet in the physical, to things that are in your mind, to things that are your ideas, that are shaped from your experiences, from your everyday, from your childhood. That is something that is so special. And that feeling of passion and that feeling of being creative and exercising that could very well lend itself to sexual desire and sexuality, because it's that same thing of being very present. I mean, if you are someone who is sexual, it's the same thing. It's like being super present, being aligned with your body, experiencing and giving yourself to the current moment. That is, it's all the same. It's all the same. And to go more into some personal things, like I personally am celibate, right? I don't know why I said it like that. See, there's something there. But as someone who's celibate, there is, for me again, there is a link between my sexuality and my creativity. And I don't want to make this about celibacy because it's really just a case-by-case situation. But for me personally, my own sexual restraint shows itself or has shown itself in the past in my creative restraint. Like, for example, I've talked about this with a friend before as well. And I've actually talked about this with multiple friends that read, and sometimes they don't get what I'm saying. Reading, I guess, isn't necessarily creative in the sense that you are making something, but it is, I do think it actually is creative because you are fully present, you are indulging in something, and you are also, through your own lens and perspective, giving life to characters and stories that you read. So in a way, I feel like reading is creative. The envisioning of things that aren't there but are in the page, but maybe you are rounding out certain things, and like I just said, filling in the blanks from your own perspective, that is creative. So you know what? Reading is creative. Anyway, whenever I have talked to friends about this, they're like, that's interesting. I don't get why you do that. Whenever I read, there's like this, and I'm fighting this this actively. If you have seen my last video where I made a bingo card for 2025, you will have seen that I put 30 books, reading 30 books on my bingo card. And but that was so strange to say. I want to read 30 books this year. And so obviously I have to be reading. And there's like this strange sense of I need to rein in myself when I'm reading. Like sometimes there's this like need to control, or this feeling like I need to stop reading eventually, to have control over the passions that are asking me, the passions that I'm experiencing while reading, and the text which is asking me to keep reading, to keep going. There's almost like this loss of control that I don't want to give into, where sometimes I've been reading for 30 pages and there's no reason for me to not keep reading, but then I just stop reading and I'm like, thank you. And it's similar to, I'm a singer, and it's similar to when I write a song or I sing and I'm really into it, and I'm really passionate. And again, back to that feeling that I was talking about, that like warm fire in my chest and my diaphragm, experiencing that. Or when I'm playing an instrument. And in the past especially, there has been this quiet understanding, like enjoy this, and this sounds super arrogant, but like enjoy this moment of genius, enjoy this moment of being super tapped into the source, into singing from a deep place, because you will not access this anytime soon. And it's that like restraint, denial of self, of this magic, of the source that I have, and that I believe everyone has, that I think is like heartbreaking, and I'm getting out of, I think there was a real lack of trust in myself and my ability to reproduce that feeling of magic, or rather, in that case, if we're going to speak frankly, a willingness to confront my own desires. Like, I think that's always been something that I have struggled with, to like sit with that feeling of passion and let it like quote unquote take you where it takes you. And so this is something that I'm really working on, and I think is so interesting because it ties into everything. It also ties into relationships, you know, talking about sexuality, like it ties into even friendships, which are not sexual necessarily. It's this thing of this discomfort around being seen, this fear of being experienced fully or being too much, frankly. This is something I'm actively working on right now. I've always worked on it, but especially right now I'm so aware of it. But the fear of being seen trying, and the fear of or discomfort around wanting something, you know, like me, I want to be a singer, I want to be an artist, but there is a feeling of discomfort in claiming that and making it my own, because I know I have it. I know I'm tapped into the source. I know I have what it takes. Not even from not even like, oh, I have the skills, because I do have the skills, but it's more so about what I'm willing to be truthful about in my art. And I think it just didn't compute with not being honest about your desires. You know, you can't be a great artist and not live fully, I don't think. Like you can't be a great artist, a truthful artist, a brave artist, and not be honest about what you desire. Like this is it's so insert meme of Tamara Mori. You know what I mean? And so for me, I'm just recognizing that to desire something, whether it's a person, whether it's a career path, whether it's whatever you can desire, really anything, is to be brave and to live honestly. And I want to live honestly. Like I want to be an honest person. So yeah, this is kind of all I have to say about that. I think I'm just constantly, I'm like so, as of late, because I'm letting it happen, I'm opening myself up to being influenced by other people, and for other people to hold a mirror up to me and be like, bitch, you clearly want this thing, like go for it, like be brave, live honestly, don't deny yourself the life that you seek. Now it's just like it's all coming in with a wave, and I wanted to talk about that a little. My hair is not long enough to be doing this, not yet, guys. I trimmed my hair and now I can't even put it up. Like I fear I may have trimmed all my new growth. Anyway, I'm also reading Open Water right now. A quick shout out, a very quick one. And right away, this book also talks about desire. Like, desire is the theme. And also, Queer, Luca Guadagnino's Queer, I've seen it. I would love to talk about it. The obvious theme in there is desire, and that movie... I don't rate movies on Letterboxd anymore, but if I did, it would be something very close to 5 stars. That movie blew me away. Daniel Craig as Lee. I pull my hands up. So yeah, desire is the theme, the theme of this month, January. So yeah, if you resonate with anything I've said, or you don't, the shoulder shrug, please let me know in the comments. I always welcome other people's thoughts and opinions on things. And thanks for watching. I'm growing to be more comfortable again recording videos, and it's really fun. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week, probably. Bye. Just kidding. Okay, let me turn this off.